It's the ride. He's had a couple of horses that have been supported today. This is the first one of them, and we're betting on the jockey who's going to take home the £10,000. And Billy Loughnane, he's fifth favourite with ourselves at 6-1. But yeah, Gerbat in the first one if the money's got anything to go by.
Who's favourite out of interest for tonight? For the riders?
So at the moment it's joint favourites Connor Beasley and Ashinor both at 11-4. And if you fancy Paul Mulrennan to take it home, he's 28-1.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's some value there.
Yeah, a bit of value. Do you want a winner for the first?
No, well, I'm going to give you my Winter Crown. I think it's got a really good shout based upon the previous form. The debut form is very, very strong, and then was off the mark for Julie Camacho last time. I think 73 is very fair. Who do you like?
Yeah, no, I agree. I like Winter Crown. He's a typical sort of horse that is going to get better with time, and I can see Camacho's team really doing well with this horse. I was impressed with the way he won at Newcastle. His maiden form was really worked out. He's an invincible spirit, so I don't see the cut in the ground being a problem. Yeah, and he's a good apprentice, Ryan Sexton, good strong rider.
Okay, and this rain's coming down a bit now, so we think we could be approaching soft if it carries on like this. We'll come to it. The novice, you've got a ride on East Bank. It was everyone's favourite Paul who rode the horse on debut, but you're taking over from Hannigan. What sort of chance?
Well, no, Paul Hannigan rides him.
Oh, he does. Wait, I messed me joke up. Which one did Hannigan ride last time that you're riding tonight? There is one. Anyway, we'll come to it. I've got my pools muddled up. You're not on anything in that. Do you fancy anything for the second race?
Do you know what? I'm going to throw one up here at a bigger price. Moonstone Boy of Ian Jardines. He's drawn well in 7. He ran well here over course and distance 3 weeks ago. Wasn't knocked about, and he finished off well. And I'm sure with a run under his belt, at a bit more value. You've got the obvious horses in it. Craig Lidster's that won at Beverley. Amy Murphy's won out in France. And obviously there's been a bit of money for the Hannon horse, but I just think Ian Jardine's horse, Moonstone Boy's a bit of value.
Okay, notable that Blue Prince is out of this, who was going to be a warm order on debut. Anything been well supported in it, Michael?
With the two non-runners, Tom Blue Prince and Irish Nectar, it's been sort of fairly quiet. Love Billy Boy for the Hannon team, unsurprisingly, that's been well supported. Solid around about 15-8. Sky Bet money back if your horse finishes second or third in this race. And yeah, I would say Love Billy Boy, probably the strongest one, and that heads the market.
Fancy anything, Gordon?
Love Billy Boy's the obvious one. Richard Hannon doesn't send many horses up here, Tom. I think he's only had about 2 or 3 winners down through the years. Quite a sharp pedigree on the dam side. She won over 5. And I was actually here on Easter Saturday. Moonstone Boy, the horse that Paul's referring to, green as grass and still managed to finish third. So yeah, I would agree with Paul on Moonstone Boy, but I think the favourite probably be all right, I would think. Okay,
a bit of value for Moonstone Boy, possibly. The fillies handicap is very, very well contested. Got a nice full field in this race. Turnout for the fillies handicap, and Paul Mulrennan has got a ride on Vindabala. What do you think?
I think she'll run a massive race at a big price. She was second here last year. She can be a little bit temperamental at times, but on her day, she's quite a smart filly. If I wasn't riding her, the filly I'd like to be on is the Ed Bethel filly, Elim, by Make Believe. Drawn well. Connor Beasley doing 8-9, it'd be one of his lighter weights. She was very impressive when she won at Newcastle. I think if she can revert to the grass, I don't see the ground being a problem for her. I think she'd be the likely winner.
She's just a 3-year-old who should have a lot of upside. Can you see past her?
I think she'll go well as well. I agree with Paul. I was speaking to Ed Bethel yesterday at Haydock, and he's made quite a good start to the season. You know, she won the maiden at Newcastle. I think she'll go well. And the other one above, I've seen James Ferguson here today up from Newmarket with Chilami, who was second, first time back this season at Southwell. So I'd be Elam to beat Chilami.
William Haggis have many runners up here, Gordon?
He is the odd one. He comes
good record here?
Reasonable, yeah.
Sends out Mystic Pearl, who I thought was interesting off the back of that second last time as well. Ben Curtis. But what's been well back, Michael?
Yeah, Mystic Pearl 5-2 from 4-1. Ben Curtis has got some good rides here at the meeting. He's 92 to be top jockey, and Paul's horse Vindabala's also been backed 33-1 into 14-1. The Ed Bethel horse Elim, we priced this up on Thursday when we got the declarations, and and that was around about 7-1 at the time. Was really well supported, drifted slightly in the betting out to 11-4, but he's clearly well fancied as well. But yeah, Mystic Pearl, no surprise, this is just about favourite for the Haggis team.
Nice big field for the 5:15. It's a middle distance handicap. Are you extra places in here, Michael, or anything? You want to tell us what's been well supported?
Yeah, 5 places in the 5:15, and my man to the left, Mr. Mulrennan's Ale Francais, has been well backed in this one. 8-1 from 14-1. That's the one market move that we've got with the 5 places.
And you have ridden and won on her before?
Yeah, she's a nice filly. We've not had her very long. The ground won't be a problem. Dropping in grade, coming back in trip. She ran in a hot race the last day at York. She's done very well over the winter physically. She's got bigger and stronger, and yeah, no, I can see her running a very big race. The other filly in the race, Drawn One, Arrange, she's a course and distance winner. I won on her here last year. I think she'll like the ground. She'll stay well. She's got a lovely draw there in 1. I think she could run a big race too.
I was here the day that Arrange won for Paul. I mean, you get into trouble and everything that day. I think you won by 7.5 lengths still, didn't you? Yeah. She did it well.
I was in a lot of trouble, and then all of a sudden I burst through and I ended up winning way too far. Martin wasn't very happy.
I know. I spoke to Martin Todd Hunter yesterday. He's a really mild-mannered trainer, isn't he? But seriously, he thinks she'll go well. He thinks it's a tricky race, but he thinks she goes well fresh. And if you think of form figures last year, she won here, Tom, and I think she was out the 3 all season.
No, she's very consistent mare. Yeah, no, Martin's very, very keen on her. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that as well.
You go with Arrange for you, right? Yeah. I'm hoping you're on the right one in that contest. The 5:45. If you're watching on Racing TV Extra, that is when you can watch on the main channel, because that is when we have no other race courses with live racing. So we'll be at Musselburgh in its entirety. 5:45 is a 3-year-old mile handicap. I quite like Theme Park here under top weight for Rowan Scott and Nigel Tinkler, who on the pick of form for a previous yard I thought could be really well treated, but hasn't been all that popular, Michael, in the betting. That horse is out to 16-1 when floating around about 9s yesterday. What has been well supported?
Yeah, No Barrier, the horse at the bottom for the Kevin Ryan team, Shane Gray taking the ride. That's 9-1 from 14-1. Theme Park, like you said, Tom, around about 14-16-1. We're paying 4 places in this for 10 runners, so probably a little bit of each way value kicking around somewhere, and Skybet customers have gone in with No Barrier.
No Barrier, who's a Kingman. The ground could be interesting, has been gelded. Gordon, who do you like?
Gincident, I saw finished second here on Easter Saturday. It showed better form, I think, stepping up to this sort of trip of a mile. Richard Fahey and Oisin Moore, or of course a new combination from last season. And Venetian, first time back this season, being gelded, and Charlie Johnson's horses are running quite well. I'll probably just go with Gincident in a pretty open race.
Okay, who are you going to be cheering on?
I thought Urban Sprawl looked quite progressive last year. He looked like he was going the right way. Joe Fanning's a master around here as well. He's probably the best jockey around Musselburgh. He's great on the front end, and Johnson's horses have hit the ground running this year, so that's who I'd like to be on.
Is that what makes Joe so lethal around here? Just him being good on the front end? What else is it?
Well, he's just an all-round good jockey, but he just seemed to ride Musselburgh very well. He's got a good clock in his head, Joe.
That's Urban Sprawl, who's very much on the up. First up for 239 days for Paul, around about an 11-2 shot. The 6:15 is a 12-runner handicap over the extended 7 furlongs. Anything extra places here, Michael?
Yeah, 5 places. Probably the busiest betting race on the card. On a session, 100 to 30 from 15-2. Again for Ben Curtis, Mr. Bluebird, Billy Loughnane, Heather Main, who did well has done well at the Sunday series for the last couple of years, and that Mr. Bluebird's 4 from 17-2, and then just a little bit of money for Yasser for Jim Goldie and Paul Mulrennan, 12 from 14-1.
Bit of money for yours?
Yeah, he's had a run under his belt and he's come out of that race really well. He seems to love it round here, and I think the race will really set up for him, so fingers crossed he can run into a place and get us a few points.
It will set up for him because he wants a bit of pace?
He likes a strong gallop to aim at. The quicker they go, the better, and it looks to me like there's a bit of pace on in that race, so that should suit him.
Easy enough to come from off it here if they go hard enough?
Well, if they go hard enough, yeah, I mean, they'll fan out, and I'm pretty sure we'll all end up racing middle to stands really today. With the ground being the way it is, I can see it's all been spread out up the straight.
Gordon, thoughts?
A Geo-checker maybe for Keith Dalgleish, who throws a lot of darts at the Sky Bet Sunday series, and of course went so close to landing the bonus with a horse at Sandown last year, and a horse that finished third here over course and distance on Easter Saturday. So Keith's got quite a few runners today. Of course, rumours of him about to give up training midsummer as well, so he'll be trying to get a few points on the board, I would think.
Yeah, I thought Geo-checker had a good chance with the run under his belt. Guido took the race apart really when winning it last time, but
and he loves it round here. He's a good yard yardstick, Guido.
Yeah, and he's just got a good record at the track, Checker, so I thought he had a good chance under Connor Beasley. The 6:45 is the sprint. Stalls are on the inside. We're over 5 furlongs. How important is the draw in the sprint?
Usually just on good ground you would always like to be drawn nearer the stand side, but with the ground wind the way it is, there's a lot of runners. Like I said, I think we'll be spread out all the way across the track. It's going to be a real cavalry charge, this race. As I said before, the filly I ride, Rock Melody, she ran a really good race for us here on her debut run for us. She has won over 6 and 7, but with the ground being slow, it's going to be a bit of a test. You're almost going to want a 6 furlong horse, and like I say, I sat on her last week and she came out of the race great, so Jim's a few runners in it, so I'm just hoping I've picked the right one.
If it is genuinely soft come that race time, we should be all right.
Yeah, I don't see it being an issue. Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue at all. It's just obviously the sharp 5 sometimes can. You know, she's won over 6 and 7 furlongs, so I'm just hoping with the ground being the way it is, stamina will come into play.
Who's been popular?
Well, we're paying 6 places in this, Tom. The bottom one, Rivers Way, doesn't go. Sacred Jewel, pretty solid at the top of the market for Julia Camacho, Clifford Lee at 6-1. And then you've got a number of horses that, you know, there's been a little bits of money for. Matisse, Timmy just had a 33-1 winner, I think, at Wetherby in the first race. That's 13-2 with ourselves, and then little bits for Monsieur Cody as well for Richard Fahy, Oshinor at 8-1. But yeah, real wide open 6-1 the field.
Interesting, Duna Shade's coming over, I thought.
Yeah, he's mentioned the one I fancy.
Go on.
Matisse, he probably needed the run here when finishing 6, I would imagine. Maybe a slight concern about the ground. Third in last year's Bronze Cup. Drawn 12. What I tend to do, and I don't know about you guys, in races like this, just in case there is a little bit of a bias, I know probably high's better than low, you would agree. This is drawn 12. I thought from a lower draw, maybe Alice Hainsey's living the moment. First time for Alice, drawn 4. So I've gone 1 high and 1 low, but I do fancy Matisse.
Okay, that's a little spin through the card. I've worked out what Paul's surname is finally. Thanks for rocking up here, and good luck. You looking forward to the Sunday Series as a whole? Will you be at every meeting?
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it now. It's a real good initiative. It's great for everyone, jockeys, trainers, staff, owners, everyone. And even better that most of the meetings this year seem to be in the north of England, so got a real good chance.
Just a bit.
We haven't mentioned the joke, the points joke. Who wants to use it?
Oh, yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, this is Paul could get more points tonight than Chelsea.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Are you going to be in a relegation battle?
It wouldn't be hard. I don't know. It's looking that way. There's not been
39 points will be safe.
Yeah, no, I think we'll hang on. It's just been one of them years. We'll be all right next year. Hopefully, if we get that Potticino in, we'll be all right.
I really don't want you to get that. My final question is, how's it driving? Because you're giving Ollie Bell a lift home.
Yeah, no, so he's driving. He doesn't know yet, but he's going to drive.
Oh, really? You don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that.
No, it'd be all good. It'd be all good.
All right, good stuff. That's a little spin through the card. Hopefully we found you some winners. And if you're watching on Racing TV Extra, the next thing you can see will be in the paddock soon enough.
Well done, guys.
Lovely, well done.
All right.
Spot on.
Well done. Okay. All right, well done.